Hi, I'm Jacob Mitchell, and I'm here with Jill Ebert from the Kenneth Butler Memorial Soup Kitchen. How are you doing today?
Just fine.
All right, so I have a few questions for you, just about the kitchen and stuff.
Okay.
So what is the Kenneth Butler Memorial Soup Kitchen for those who don't know?
It is just that, a soup kitchen. It's a place for people to come to eat that are hungry. We're open to anyone. Anybody can eat in here. We don't ask any questions. We don't have any forms to fill out. You just walk through the door and you get a good hot meal.
So what's the history of the soup kitchen, this particular one?
Okay, we opened October 12th of 2009. Prior to that, the building was totally dilapidated. It was actually about ready to come down with the wrecking ball. We had to completely remodel this whole front end. The person who owned it decided that he wanted to turn it into a soup kitchen, and so he met with the powers that be, and it was approved. And so construction started in December of '08 through the help of lots and lots and lots and lots of volunteers and carpenters and electricians and drywallers and painters and people from work release, and everyone were coming over and helping to remodel all of this, and within 9 months we were up and served our first meal.
So what kind of work would a typical volunteer do here?
I like to tell everybody it's just like everything you do at your house, only on a grander scale. There's prepping the food, there's inventorying the food, there's mopping the floors, there's cleaning the bathrooms, there's washing the dishes, there's cleaning the cabinets, there's stocking, cooking, serving, everything.
So what inspires someone to volunteer here without monetary compensation?
Just the fact that they want to help people. Everybody, I think everyone can relate to food being a basic necessity, and it's not something that only privileged people should have. And everybody relates to that. Nobody wants anyone to be hungry. And I think that's why our volunteer response is so great. And it's just a beautiful mission, and you actually are one-on-one with the people, so you actually see the people you're helping, you interact with them. Our volunteers get to know the patrons get to know the volunteers, and it's just very rewarding. And it's hard work, it's hectic, it's busy, it's crazy all the time. You have to be able to adapt and turn on a dime. There's been times that I've planned a meal 4 different times before we actually started cooking, because different things would happen and food would come in from caterers and things like that. So you have to be very adaptable. But at the end of the day, you're dead tired, but you've made somebody's life a little easier.
So what kinds of people do you have that come and volunteer?
Everyone you can think of. My youngest volunteer who started here started when she was 3 years old. My oldest one is now 89. And they come from all walks of life. They come from businesses, schools, clubs, churches, just ordinary people, all the way up to corporate officers.
So what kinds of challenges does the soup kitchen face?
The challenges are basically keeping enough money to keep the building going is one of the biggest challenges we have. It's an old building, lots and lots and lots of maintenance. Our insurance, our utilities, all of that kind of stuff plays into it. One of the blessings is that we have to buy very little food. The community has embraced us enough, and we get such wonderful donations from everyone around that in 2015 I spent less than $1,100 on food costs, and we've served over 30,000 meals. So that's an amazing thing that we had that much. And we don't serve bad food. We usually have an entree with 2 to 3 sides and a dessert with every meal.
I was going to say I like the smell in the back. So what are the goals of the soup kitchen moving forward?
Goals of the soup kitchen is just to always be here for the hungry people. We want to keep growing. We have become much more than just a place for them to gather to eat. A lot of our people have kind of fallen between the cracks, so to say. A lot of them don't have family, so the patrons have kind of formed a bond and they've become their own family. And we've had everything imaginable here at the Soup Kitchen. We've had everything from baby showers to weddings to graduations to funerals. This literally has become their place, and so it's a lot more. We do a lot more than just fill their stomachs.
So how can someone get involved if they want to volunteer?
All they have to do is give us a call, stop in, go on our website, send us an email, any number of ways, and we'll get back with them and make sure we get them in here, because I'd like for everybody to be in here and see what all we do.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, we're back, and now we're getting a walkthrough from Jill, and we get to look around the soup kitchen. So, what do you have to say about this particular area of the
This area is
soup
the
kitchen?
dining room. This is where, of course, the people eat, and again, as I talked about the remodeling earlier when we talked, when we first started, this whole area was just one big open space, and so the rooms were designed, and there wasn't any drywall, there wasn't any ceiling, there wasn't even any floors. There were just studs, and so quite a lot was done, all through donated time and dollars, and so this is our dining room. The people go up to the window and get their meal, come back to the table. That over there, the shelf and the bookcase, that's what we refer to as our free table. Jack's Donuts gives us donuts daily, and Mozzie's Pizza gives us pizza daily. We get in bread from Panera Bread, from Earth Fare. We get from Pepperidge Farm. We get in all kinds of stuff. We get books, we get toiletries, everything that the people can use we put over there, and they know that whatever's there they can take home with them. This gentleman is Kenneth Butler. That's who we're named after. He was a fire chief back in the late 60s and was a very good man to the people in need. He took in homeless people. He did prison ministries. He did truck stop ministries. He died in 2001 from cancer. He was a good friend of the man who started the soup kitchen. So that's how we got our name. He wanted to memorialize him because he knew that if he were alive, he would very much be involved with us, and his family is still involved with us. So this is the dining room. This is where the magic happens.
Okay, so what do you want to show us next?
Okay, we'll just walk straight to the back, and I'll just show you everything we have. This little tiny room here used to be my office, and that used to be our closet, and that was the end of our part of the building. The attorney had his office in the back. He retired in October of 11, and in March of 12 he gave us the rest of the building. And so then we remodeled the rest of the building, and now my office is back there. This is a shoe ministry from Changing Footprints. Shoes are brought to us for the people to take as they need, and we get all sizes, and if we don't have their size, we've got a paper there for them to write down what they need, and we try to get that for them, but that's done through Changing Footprints. That's just the restroom. And if you'll come on through here, this room's really messy, but it is our conference room. All of this stuff came in this morning. I'm waiting for volunteers to get here to date everything and fold the laundry and put away all the food. So my office is in there now. It's very messy. We won't take time to look at that. If you'll come straight on through here, this is our storage room, and right here, this used to be the wall, and so all we had was just the front part there. So the neat thing about this storage room, if you'll look around, And you'll see the refrigerators and freezers, with the exception of about 2 or 3 of them. Excuse me. And this cooler, all of the freezers and refrigerators were out in the dining room. They lined the walls. It looked like a used appliance store. And so this was really, truly a blessing when we got this part back here. And as you can see, it's crowded, it's full. We've got lots of food everywhere, and now since we have this area, we've got the blessing of keeping things organized instead of just sticking it wherever you could find a place. So, and we also were able to get a second bathroom, which is very, very nice to have. And a laundry room. This is one of my favorite things that we got because I don't have to take the laundry home anymore. This is what we refer to as our summer kitchen. Basically, it was set up to process the fruits and produce that were brought in from the gardens. We used to have a lady that had a 1-acre garden, and she gave us all of the produce from it. And companies have gardens for us, people grow gardens for us, churches grow gardens. We get tons and tons and tons of produce. And one day before we had all of this back here, we got in 350 dozen ears of corn at one time. And so we were out front in the kitchen trying to cook and process the corn, and it's just really crazy. So that's the kind of stuff we do back here now. And we also prepare our sack lunches back here. On Fridays, we give out sack lunches for the weekend. So they'll have stuff to eat for the weekend. So all of that happens back here. So now we can go forward, and we'll just quickly go through the kitchen. And you'll see where all the good food's prepared. That's kind of an obstacle course. And here we have our great volunteers. And they're in here preparing tonight's dinner. We're having herb chicken, and we're having parsley potatoes, green beans, and I'm not exactly certain what we're having for dessert yet other than blueberry pie. We'll be having something else, but I don't know exactly what just yet. Sweet Shop also donates donuts to us when they have extras. So this is kind of where everything happens.
It smells good.
Smells good. It's going to taste good too, I can promise you. And then that brings us back out to the dining room.
All right, well, thank you very much for this walkthrough.
Thank you so very much for coming.